Yao Ghana. Medafo Enra Enigisema a course ewo Ghana and it say your parliamentarians no resume ye na efe krakwa. Odo mudi ko share any sido musi diagro ewo parliament environment ono echese ampa Ghana democracy na nkasa nyankopon adom yate ase. Omuko share no medafo a utie me ankoye MPP NDC sem kra dabi ankoye ntokwa ankoye chese na efe krakwa uhwe screen yi so a videos no ana etwagu no we echese se wo fie na wo koma saa se bi yempanimfo ya ye very careful because omuna wo koma omo no omo ko shia a different energy a different story na anigisema e course so anase arewsema e course so ene se omo ko shia ye no sabi NDC for no eni age ensem trofo ekopie ho busa NDC for no se sia no omo kotena minority anase the majority asemba ko a NDC for penny for eka ye enie o say kramanya dompe hye na numu no
o me beda mo wira ho mehwe no mekase o mewi poto
and o marry poto
o wi poto
and na dem you okay some become minority side
oh now we say me twi ni nya too deep o kraman ne okra bone we say dompe we say we ye wo biom we kura dompe ne we ye wo biom
na obakaya after elections no Dr. Baumia ka say kai be ya MPP for nka o manu ntum na omunyai the blame game medefo I think say asem we ya Dr. Baumia kan no MPP for penny for this one for asem kwotena se because me hu say subin MP anya bre no kire nsemu
enoma be na aka esa ban we ye ansa na time was 6th of January 2025 enoma ese ma bobi so Isikasem President Mahama Obebe the free vote to account budget the first 3 months first quarter of next year budget na say yemano as a parliament na yemano the tosumi enu emoluments committee article 71 holders as on the banner so here one semka and other bills been agreements be there say hwe kan ho asem obi edwin ka so obi rather matter punish obi we are punishing Ghana we punish mo ye ho in the no day I don't think that is of interest of here two abana we saying obi ehun level and this for them say they have 2/3 of parliament next year. It's in their interest to come and support government business for us to quickly wrap up and leave the stage for them. What they say so why anya say na we say obi na obi kun na obi chu bia so they na say as why that kwan kakra onye no ntini ehia me
yeah na ma wadwen yes from confuse party say party
me orientation is different. Some chair be penny o dem ha bibi so chair me ba me hu ye gra me say buzi e cool inflation and champion be cool Rollins be ba na o say e hodo no ma control minister na yawo to bia be cool a economy we no kana we ban ma popular apart na dey bi o dey say etie hu no ma we nyina na ye ka economy ye ka ebinum say kana fa ko tu ho aba nyina hu de na ye ka no say dey wom de na enim obi ehu na problem e won say me swear the oath of office, no, as a member of parliament, no. There were verbs and adjectives in the oath. Or simply say you protect, preserve, defend, and uphold the Constitution. So my fidelity is to the Constitution as a Ghanaian citizen. It's not to a political party. Party member of parliament, yes. But no, as a party, I mean to be minister. They were more than the ye be ya menchirima se na obetana na bebi nku na wanka na ye din na we heha na kodi akira be wiase no e ba ebubu abo nyina eti enya se obi feel se e na obi ye nyina na bebre so ahwete sa na bia ja hu ene kakra bedie o dey say some of us we don't need government to survive really. I love this country at 21 I me abajuma biara ma me parliamentarian minister me abajuma biara o dey say yes we can survive with that government. Yes, it is all about trying to man as a Ghana for the ratio. Mumu say, but trying to Ghana, Jumana be no MPP NDC. That's all.
Substance, PC appeal for it to keep a concern. Currently,
PC appeal for or grass, always inside. On the other, indeed.
But are you facing any challenges?
I'm not facing any challenge. I'm right. Baby, I'm not. Nemum kakre be di nti omu ntimi nka. Omu nyina na me yadwen. The course omu nyina na me yadwen say we had a crisis. That crisis demanded the resignation of Ken Agyapong. We failed to back it up. And it has brought us where we are today. Oh, there is a moon person, Baba Cope, and I made it to me, and I answered to the team say, oh, my own mind, what you man. You and I said, the woman's here. Saying now, so, like I said, there be Yena Yakwa campaign, the partner about power. It's Yena, yes, see, Timmy, President Casa say, baby, I do know. Ministers need to be sound. And on your bonnet, and your time. But yes, yes, I have a election. No, I didn't say Ghana for a free. Ghana for Payar, Ghana for Pejuma. What I say, Bufua, Mutuaba, and a common to Betia, John Mahama 2016. If I'm that Wabetia. What I say, yes, and I always what Mahama votes are Winyano 2016. And one when you be home, you ain't for Uncle Twaba. And the hard, you know. Mama votes on Yasu, you have 115,000 per account. Ye they over 2 million on Twaba. It is a way analysis we now talk. Now we say me, ya watch it, they not make catch or no crack. Then the SC. Me who does catch will be. The economy will always determine elections in everywhere of the world. Every part of the world, the economy will determine the election. Everywhere. You get the economy wrong, you're on the way out. It's as simple as that.
You know when you wanna.
I know there's something out in Ghana. In Fibi no Yakasa. And Fibi no Yakasa, they say can be a Yaka. What I say, but Kakra, you know, the boy home by and say, and me Ghana for what you want. Getting I got transit near her, baby, a ENT Ghana for. Now, baby, a Ghana for if you say, go for it as a mutum I omode. Mom got Nefi. And all the Brazils, I say, we failed to take hold of the situation. And I'm Ghana for the years we have at the Panacea. Until we live to fight another day.
Are you happy with the outcome elections?
I'm an MPP. Why would I be happy with an MPP NDC administration?
If Ghanaians have done the right and then you are...
Sir, that is a majority Ghanaians are right. Some of the doors, the past 6 million, minimum sanction. Oh, the home not transfer who they are. Maybe 6 million. Why don't we NDC for? Maybe requiring before them trouble. Maybe, but I mean the fact remains that if you get the economy wrong, you're on your way out.
So are you happy Ghanaians are becoming discerning?
I know they are here. About to say here, to safety, and say if you are saying, Obama, that's the only way you can get accountability from Ghanaians.
Therefore, na any kakrakwa. Interviews there, be brain a course Sam George, Ken Agyapong, Napo, just something for there. Na efe krakwa. Therefore, me family be brain. Ye monra parliament na interviews a course wa bonteno. Unsu tiebi ne hu babia sabi Ghana politics echo onyankopon enhyiraw na onte nanim kyerɛw.
Well, like I've said, I'm a child of God, and as a Christian, the Bible says vengeance is the Lord, he will repay. And so it's up to God to exact vengeance. I'm a son of God, and as sons of God, we inherit our fathers. So vengeance belongs to the Lord. My leader. Take it. Yeah. I think so. One of the key things that Ghana for the next NDC are buying is the recovery of loots and prosecution of women we are buying. I think so. I think that this election wasn't just about a vote on Bawumia per se. It was a vote on Akufo-Addo ni Bawumia ni na wamamambo katashishe proye kind dreamer eko so wo aban mo. And the Ghana for Beshe say NDC aban John Mama aban na ebe mo no will not come and continue business as usual. Oh, omo ye na for ma omo debi. Ghana for eyi womani ana yesi inteso kokko e de akire aban no say kono na ekoso waban no no enye omo de enti esese yen so as aban a womo di tumi na mayen no e be make sure say womo ade a Ghana for akoma so the recovery of loot, prosecution of people who have deprived the people of development ese ekoso na ade ba ko a ehia e wo aban no e ya ahombrase obi biara mahama be paw no a obe ma no akwanya e wa ban ne mo no ese yesua ahombrase ese ase wo hwe John Mahama ankasa no o wa ahombrase wo nipa ho tima And your power say we a minister, we a CEO, who are akwenya wa ban no mu a ese wo bro ho ase. Enya ne Ghana fo ho tima. Esa say Ghana fo nte na wonya asa to me no. Enti ade ba kwa say yensua. Na yentie Ghana fo no. And I believe is ade ba kwa edamakoma so for aban no say aban no me akwenya say metu omampanyin John Mahama fo a meka say ye Ministry of Information and Public Engagement. Ministry and not just for information, but ministry any oman for no benya ngita hunde at least on a weekly and monthly basis. Because for a year I cost it took 8 years. 8 years. I feel watch it. And as I katashisha any kankaina cost. To me, it's some people in one month. And you need to carry the people along. At Mawamo say, Busumi way, the steps we've taken, timelines are taking na the behu nyama like when you implement a policy, it will take time for you to see the effect. Yeah. But in between the time, there's a policy way over the next 6 months. You expect to say and in between the 6 months, you need to carry the country along. And the economic reform say carry the country along. Because I think the extent of the damage to the economy, you need to address the country. I'm say this is the level of we are. When you put in a new policy, renegotiation with the IMF, what does it mean for the young people of Ghana? I say Ejuma 4, what does it mean for them? Forex, the situation at the Bank of Ghana, you need to do sector by sector. Magana for NTS here. When you do that, you can carry the people along. My number here, does it put any task on you, burden on you, so some of perform deliver? Definitely. I mean, the Ghana afford to be more overwhelming super majority. I already see MPP to mind microcredit finance there. And here say again, I'm Brazil. And here say a prayer once. Now, yeah, a year too much. The majority in Parliament is for us to say, listen to the desires of the Ghanaians. Nyama 1% yen sisa na yen sisa ma o. Nyama 1% yen get Ghana for do say woman pay 811. They say yen yifro. In the first budget they say yen yifro. Almost woman pay bet tax. They say yen yifro. Almost woman pay corporate levy. I say yen yifro because anything na woman ma to look at the Ghanaian people don't joke with them. Omuma MPP, a very solid majority of 169. Omuma say MPP for a fine year. Then the next one my split parliament, 137 said, young Chester and no super call. To see a woman my overwhelming majority, 188. Unjenam fine year to my. I say, City baby. And then the one year to Muslim Kokotana. Oh, now say Ghana fire mu verdict, your judgment. That's all mama ye city baby. I don't think I should be. And should be near the first judges, you know, Ghanaians, you know, my judge. I make sure say J.M. Bako. City baby. My NDC. Abra na yam kwa batu na mo de mo gidi se mo ye majority. And then abatu so so something na de mo atu na afen so ye vote no mo aban na be boa mo nti na mo kwakota minority for one. Oh, na say akola de usu say ye nto bofruit mbra. Na say bofruit wi mu efe de wehu say ye de aba. E wo bag ni mu aye be yi ama nti esu ni de u be ja isu answer. Kopepisi e be yi bofruit nti ye ja isu. Say obi jaji you said that you Ghanaians are here on final verdict. Almost say NDC back or city baby.
That it was inappropriate for me to go and sit on the minority bench when I was on the minority leader. If on the 7th of January, I am the minority leader, I will sit on the minority bench and keep their feet to the fire. I mean, life continues. Listen, in 1997, MPP came into the parliament of the second parliament with 61 seats. NDC almost had a 2/3. They had over 130 seats. We had just 61, with other small parties joining us, making 67. But the 97 group was very formidable. And in 2000, we managed to overtake them in numbers. In 2004, again we led the House in the 3rd Parliament. In the 4th Parliament, they took over. In the 5th Parliament, they still control the House. In the 6th Parliament, we had a commanding majority of 169, which was very unprecedented, with over 1 million votes for the presidential candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. In 2020 election, again we had a split parliament, where people say hung parliament, with just a single majority which I lead. Then we had over 500,000 votes for our presidential candidate Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Now come 2024, where they have over 170 seats. C'est la vie. That is life. That is democracy. All right? We congratulate them. The people of Ghana have heard them. They've given them the mandate. Our job in opposition is to do what we're supposed to do. Keep their feet to the fire. So this is not something that has to be celebrated in perpetuity. They would have to be magnanimous in victory as we see the next 4 years. We are very positive that come 2028, Ghanaians will return us into office. We are going to take stock, look at where we got it wrong, correct our mistakes, come together as a team, as a formidable opposition, as a formidable minority, not to be disruptive, no violence, no chaos, but to act within the confines of the law, argue on issues, and distinguish ourselves for the people of Ghana to know that this is MPP. We believe in democracy and we accept the result. Safe to say that some outstanding areas that our friends are doing mischief, acting in bad faith, we call on them to appreciate what it entails to engage in this process and allow the EC to do its work. We have 9 more seats that are yet to be declared, and we are very optimistic that if collation is done peacefully in a serene environment, those seats are ours. We have collated our results, and we know we have won them. And please, let me finish. And we know that what our flag bearer did is what has given this country the peace it needs. For the first time in the history of Ghana's democracy, Dr. Bawumia conceded through internal coalition, even before Electoral Commission came out publicly to declare. This has never happened in our history. Thank you very much.
Just to do government business.
So what would you say, after this whole outcome of the election? What would you say about
Ghanaians have spoken. We should listen to them.
Is there any more you're expecting from the sitting today and going forward?
I'm not in charge of the agenda. Those who are the business managers would agree on the agenda, and those of us who are members of parliament would do accordingly.
Are you expecting all your colleagues to be present for business to begin?
It's my expectation that parliamentarians will do their work. Maybe there might be a colleague here who is on the parliamentary business outside the chamber, cannot be here. And I'm expecting all parliamentarians to do their work.
And the last time I catch him victory now, I will bet you. And more call minority and majority.
Say me the kind I catch you say. This election we are going a very decisive.
Who has over?
My boy, and then my very good brother.
Okay, I say very decisive.
First of all, Ghana is still peaceful. That's one of the most important things. That's what the Ghanaian people say NDC also have that chance to govern. Let's see how it's going to be.
When we brother, more we are home.
Because we poto. And we marry poto. And then we okay some minority side.
Oh, now we say me tuning here too deep. Okraman nya okra bone. We say we wo biom. We cry don't pay we wo biom. Because Ghanaians overwhelming mandate and yet just presidential since you started Fourth Republic. Mampenyi bia nya mandate to say His Excellency President Mama. Say your quality minus 9 your friend say 9 constituencies. After they have the full figure. President Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia MPP Flabedan. The final percentage 40% crapo, 39%. Go and see. Never in the annals of our country's history. Yes, sir. Because we are a Juma Funu, we are Baye Juma Papa. Because number one, compare record. Compare President Mahama record to Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia record for 8 years. And then Nana Akufo-Addo they did a symbolic job. Here, maybe to macroeconomic indices. President Mahama was sorry on 7th January 2017. Inflation year is here 15%. Nana Akufo-Addo Dr. Bawumia at a point, almost inflation rate of 54.2%. Miba, CD there, Nana Akufo-Addo can say or the Dr. Bawumia from the Bank of Ghana to stabilize the CD. No, CD no, aya hata. CD no aya hata. Under his watch, CD equal 1 to 17 CDs and over. Under Nana Akufo-Addo Bawumia watch. Okay? Food index. Bisobia uko joma koto tomatoes ana jene ana disen. The next time ukwa sura neko. Over 85% apart from the inflation that is galloping. Debt aka President Mahama office on the 7th of January 2017. The total indebtedness yakanyina from independence to President Mahama 120 billion. Nana Akufo-Addo just September last year equal to 876 billion. Omukwa the 760 something billion. So Ghana for their mamu. Ghana for Masa, until I can say Nina committed to say I don't know now campaign say he was to Ababa. Because Omo Ghana system useless to majority of Ghanaians. And me haka and yes MPP who winning elections so Krono no mubo all the time. Krono omu all the time. I'm telling you, she Obi Kacha say Ashanti region Omo to aba Obwa. Omo to aba. What they used to do in Ashanti region is you have stuffy ballot boxes. You the thumb printed ballot boxes in Ashanti region and parade them as votes into the 1.2 million votes when we say and Ashanti region. Krono now upon this time you so vigilant that the ballot boxes could not come out. So this time, Omwasa, they can never do that again in the history of our country because once you are security, they will never come back to power. Yes, oh, Masa, say who say a Diabua, who that's so can say roof near that. Near Owuojoma, Obetman now the Finabio. So Nipa near which is a Owuojom, a Jom market. Owuojoma, Obesa besides the final announcement, and Yabu, because Obiati. You see, the MPP, because of power the Ghanaian people gave to them, they so abuse the power that Ghanaians will put them at their proper place. If an elder is found of patronizing the play of children, he will carry their drum. So today, it's very out there that the mandate that was given the MPP and that was so grossly abused, today they will be concerned to the opposition for many years. Because Ghanaians had indicated, when Ghanaians were complaining life is hard, they are trampling on their rights, they are seizing their lands, they are polluting our rivers, our lands are being desecrated. Litany of complaint, corruption is very high. Nana Akufo-Addo said to hell, he didn't mind Ghanaians. He said they can do whatever they choose. And today, it is coming. That's what I'm saying. If you sell yourself for half penny, they'll buy you for nothing. And today, the evidence is out there that Ghanaians were just waiting for the day. They were waiting for only December 7th to teach the MPP a lesson. And I want you to send this message out clear. If there's any clear thing that this election has revealed to us, it has revealed to us that MPP was actually not winning elections, especially from 2016. They were stealing the mandate of the people through the filling of ballot boxes and bringing them out. We managed to hold them in Ashanti this time. The ballot boxes couldn't come out. So you see, when they're making the cry that 1.2 million or so Ashanti people didn't vote, it's not true. The people in Ashanti region voted. They voted in the numbers they were supposed to vote. But the ballot boxes that they stuffed couldn't come out. That explains why that you see that huge gulf. And so that's why I'm telling you that once we have gotten that secret out, They can never do that thing again to win elections.
I mean, after a lesson learned by the party, by the NDC party, what proverb would you describe? What proverb would you give to, I mean, an advice to the NDC?
No, as for us, we have always been aware that if you don't know death, look at sleep. What Ghanaians have done to the MPP tells us that if you are a government and you come and you are arrogant, you are power drunk, you are corrupt, you are impervious to advice, you are insensitive to the plight of the people. When they are crying and they are telling you that things are hard for us, you tell them they can go to hell. Any government that comes and treats the people with contempt, they will teach you that lesson. Fortunately for us, President Mahama is a very humble person. He's not as haughty and capricious as Nana Akufo-Addo, who thinks that, in fact, at a point he thought he was almost God, saying that he would never hand over power to anybody, as if the power was his personal property. I'm sure you heard that. You heard him saying he wouldn't hand over power to Mahama, as if the power he was holding was his personal property and he can pick and choose who he wanted to hand over to. Today, whom is he handing over to?
After a very long
So
break.
if you say that there's no gravity, jump and let's see whether you suspend. Today, the laws of gravity have brought Nana Akufo-Addo down. You know, when President Mahama came out as president-elect to meet him, you know one of the first things he said, oh, President Mahama is one of my best friends. All of a sudden, the President Mahama he has been vilifying for God knows how long. He suddenly became his best friend. You see how God can humble people? The Nana Akufo-Addo who thought he was God, he's come down to the earth. And now he's now appealing for the friendship of President Mahama. But he will not be deceived. Ghanaians want accountability. Every one of them will account. From Nana Akufo-Addo to Dr. Bonah to all that, they will account for every person that is missing. That is why President Mahama is launching the oral operation, recover all the loot. All the lootings they've done, from money to land to everything. Every single one of them will be recovered. Because we cannot play with accountability.